everyone. Good morning. Okay, so it's 10 a.m. Let me just have a few announcements and I'll formally announce RJ, our speaker for today. Tapos, I'll let him take on the stage. So firstly, I just want to have a few announcements done for this morning. Okay, so let me share my screen. I would like to invite everyone to please join our Aromatherapy Summit for this year. It's called Wellness Beyond Intentional Oiling, and we have finally completed the lineup. There are 24 speakers, homegrown and international, who will share their expertise on different topics about aromatherapy. So don't let this chance slip away. It's the first in the Philippines to bring together all of these amazing resource speakers in one roof, in one event. And it's going to be on December 17th through 20th. If you are a VIP pass and lifetime pass, all 4 days merong mga lessons and activities. If basic pass, it's going to be 3 days lang. December 17 ng gabi until 19, that's Sunday. But the kickoff party for everyone is going to be on Thursday, December 16, that's Thursday evening. So December 16, Thursday evening, meron na tayong mga minor raffle and some announcements on what is going to be expected for the next coming days for everyone to be oriented para hindi kayo maguluhan. And yun, I'm just so excited to be with you this December, just like last year. We had a lot of fun and we made your Christmas very, very merry. So hopefully this year you will feel the same or more, and I hope to see you there. Tapos next announcement, dalawa lang naman ang announcement natin. So I would like to invite everyone to sign up as early as today. Kasi if you sign up by today or at least hanggang tomorrow, Monday, 5:58 p.m., you're still qualified to join the weekly Essential Oil Sweepstakes, wherein everybody who's joining the Aromatherapy Summit is qualified to win yung kaban ng bayan, ng mga essential oils. So for this week, kasi wala pang nananalo in the previous weeks, what's inside the treasure chest is actually 3,000 plus pesos na yung value ng oils. And pag may nakanalo niyan or pag may nanalo niyan, pag nag-restart yung kaban, it's gonna be a minimum of 1,000 peso worth of oils. So, for example, if you are a basic pass holder, that's 899, bawing-bawi na yung basic pass mo. If you are a VIP pass holder, at this point, 3 plus na. Oh, sana magdilang anghel kayo kasi gusto ko na siya talaga mag-giveaway. So we have a new set of oils to be given away. So if you win this week, it's like almost half of your pass value, nabawi mo na kasi nanalo ka na ng oils. And we have so much more giveaways and raffle care of our very, very generous sponsors. So I hope you guys join us. And I guess that's about it for today. Okay, so right now we have RJ, and I'm very much excited to introduce him to you. I know he's like a new face in our group. Ako rin, first time ko siyang na-meet. And I'm just very happy na pumayag siya mag-speak sa APA. RJ is, I think, the only grass-trained perfumer that I've met who is also at the same time a certified aromatherapist. So I think that's very brilliant, very interesting in background niya. I know you girls are also interested as me. And he will be guiding us on how to know kung ano ba talaga yung difference ng essential oils and fragrance oils. He has a very, very good background. He actually has had projects with celebrities like Heart Evangelista, and he's the perfumer behind Whiff, a bespoke fragrance called Linger for the celebrity. And from then on, the brand collaborated with him to reimagine the range of new scents, such as Pine Lime Pleasure, Mango Verde, and Gardenia Bliss. Ang nice ng mga title niya, no? I'm sure he has a very creative mind, diba? I mean, it's one way to concoct all these beautiful perfume. It's another way to actually name it. He also got to create scents for notable Filipino artisans like Natalia Lagdameo and Len Kabili. Sana tayo rin gawan niya someday. Char. During the pandemic, RJ was commissioned by Carlton Club, is that Carlton Club? And Daily Hues for their room scents and scented candles respectively. Also, it was during this time when he wanted to tell more stories through scents that sparked the idea creating a brand called Ren Atelier. So that's his own store that he will be sharing with us later on as well, which mainly offers bespoke scent service He also released Hacienderos, his final project in GIP, Grass Institute of Perfumery, as the inaugural scent of the brand. In 2020, Renato, or RJ, studied and received his certification from NAHA Certified School, the School of Aromatic Studies under Jade Shoots as a certified aromatherapist. So everybody, please welcome Renato or RJ.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, so I know this is kind of early for the weekend, so don't worry, I'll make this entertaining as much as I can and as quick as much as I can because I don't want to take so much of your time. But anyway, so here it goes. Okay, so good morning. Just about me, I know Jirbie already shared some info about me, so I just want to formally introduce myself as well. So in 2009, I started working for our company. It's a family business, and our business is mainly distributing raw materials for cosmetics and pharmaceutical ingredients. And the love and passion for scents developed when I had to deal with fragrances and essential oils on a constant basis. And it's from there I wanted to know more about scents, the art behind it. So in 2014, I decided to apply in JEEP. It's the perfumery school. And luckily, I was selected as one of their students for the 2015 batch. And I was their first Filipino student, and they normally accept 12 students per year. So I was lucky that I was selected. And then after graduating, I had the opportunity to create a scent called Linger. It's a collaboration with a local brand and celebrity and influencer, Miss Heart Evangelista. And then 2017, I got commissioned to work on Whip's reimagined scents, as well as new scents like Pine Lime Pleasure, Mango Verde, and Gardenia Bliss. In 2018, I got to collaborate with prominent artisans like Natalia Lagdemeo and Len Kabili. And then 2019, I was selected as one of the 39 finalists out of 80 applicants for an international perfumery competition. And then 2020, I got commissioned to work on Captain Club's room scents, namely Cairo and Istanbul, and daily uses candle range. And like what Jirbie said a while ago, during this pandemic, that was the time that the idea of creating more scents, telling more stories sparked. So I started the brand called Renato. It's mainly offering bespoke scent service and some private collection niche fragrances like Hacienderos. And then because of my passion for scents, I wanted to know more and explore a different field. So this year I decided to study and take my certification as an aromatherapist at the School for the Aromatic Studies. So enough about me. So let's move on to our topic, essential oil versus fragrance oil. Know the difference. So what is the importance of this topic? If you're new to this industry, you will tend to think that essential oil and fragrance oil are the same, but they're not. So I think it's important to know like this when you buy your oils, you are aware that what you want is essential oil or I don't know, fragrance oil probably. So here are the topics. I will discuss first the similarity and difference, and then the usages, and then essential oil in aromatherapy and perfumery. So I'm gonna have an ingredient focus. Like this, you will see the application of the essential oil in aromatherapy and as well as in perfumery. And then essential oil blend as a fragrance and some tips. So now let's start with the similarity. So both have an aroma or a scent, and that's about it. And I think this is one of the main reasons why people think that essential oils and fragrance oils are the same. But in reality, they're not. So now the difference. We will first define what is an essential oil. An essential oil is a volatile material derived by physical process, either steam distillation or expression from odorous plant material of a single botanical form. So that means it comes from one plant, like the lavender essential oil, it comes from Lavandula angustifolia, or tea tree comes from Melaleuca alternifolia. So it's a single plant. And I think the steam distillation and expression, I will not go further with this because this is very technical and some people might find this boring, but the steam distillation, we do this for the twigs, leaves, barks, and wood. And then expression is mainly for citrus oils to obtain the oil. Now, the aroma of essential oils, they're very characteristic and they're not too complex. So characteristic, like for example, eucalyptus. Eucalyptus has a very camphorous smell. So that's the character, that's the aroma of the eucalyptus. And it's not complex. You won't smell other notes aside from that. And then the properties of essential oils, they're therapeutic, they create a mood, they can be used as an insect repellent or as antiseptics. And methods of application, it can be for massage, for bathing, inhalation, compresses, balms, room fragrances, and naturalness. A 100% pure essential oil is 100% natural, but a 100% natural essential oil is not 100% pure. So what do I mean by this? Take for example, a pineapple juice. A pineapple juice is pure. If you mix it with water, it's gonna be no longer pure, but it's natural. So in the case of essential oils, sometimes there are companies who mix essential oils to cut costs. Like for example, the lavender. Lavender is relatively expensive. So what they do is to add lavandin. So if you do that, it's no longer a pure lavender essential oil, but rather it's 100% natural. So I hope you get that the difference of the pure and the natural. And then now let's move on to fragrance oil. Fragrance oil, also known as perfume compound, is a blend of natural ingredients, mainly essential oils, absolutes, or resinoids, and synthetic compounds meant to bring an odor to all sorts of products. And fragrance oils are made by perfumers. The aroma, unlike essential oils, it's built on three main blocks: the top note, the middle note, and the base note. The top note is the first thing that you smell, a person smells, and it's the one that attracts a person to the fragrance. And a top note usually lasts for 5 to 10 minutes. And then after that, the middle note or the heart note, this is the main notes. And it lasts for 30 minutes to 1 hour. And then finally, the base note, where this is the lingering scent. This is where the longevity of the fragrance is. And it lasts for 6 hours and above. And there are also fragrance families in fragrances. The main fragrance families are citrus, sheath, floral, fougere, and oriental. I think some of you might have heard of these families. So I'm going to discuss briefly each of them. So citrus oils, citrus. They're the oldest of all the families, and it consists of 80% citrus notes. So it can be a mix of bergamot, lemon, lime, grapefruit, and it's usually combined with orange flower, herbal, or floral notes. And then next is sheaf. It's named after a perfume made by Coty. It's called the Sheaf de Coty, and it took its name from Cyprus. And sheaf is a combination of citrus top notes, usually bergamot, with oak moss, cistus labdanum, and patchouli at heart and base notes. Then floral, it can be a single flower note or a soliflor like a rose fragrance, and or a bouquet of flowers like rose and jasmine, rose lily of the valley, lilac and rose, something like that. And 50% of fragrances belong to this family. There are also subfamilies like floral fresh, floral fruity, etc. And then fougere, this is the classic, one of the classic families, and it's more for the masculine or for the male. And it's a classic blend of lavender, tree moss, patchouli, and geranium. But there are modern interpretations of fougere now with citrus and synthetic ingredients. Oriental, this is the European way to evoke luxury for the of the Middle East empires, and they're usually hot, sensual, balsamic-rich fragrances, and they're very long-lasting. Oriental fragrances are mainly the spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and balsamics like elemi, myrrh. And then there are also subfamilies of fragrances. You have the aldehydic, ambery, aromatic, fresh, fruity, green, gourmand, marine, musky, leather, tobacco, powdery, or woody. But it doesn't mean that if it's sheaf, it's just sheaf. It can also mean like you can have a sheaf oriental or for oriental fougere. So it doesn't necessarily mean that if it's sheaf, it has to be sheaf, or a certain fragrance family, it only has to be that. It can be a mix of these families or just two. And then the product application, fine fragrances, cosmetics and toiletries, air freshener, and household products. The naturalness of fragrance oils, they can be natural and synthetic. They can be purely synthetic or natural. And the natural perfumes are usually natural ingredients like what I mentioned, the essential oils, resinoids, and absolutes, plus isolates. Isolates are the natural derived aromatic compounds, like, for example, linalool from like a citrus scent, or a linalool acetate from bergamot, citronellal from either rose or palmarosa. So that's what they do to make the fragrance complete. And make it really, natural. They add isolates. The uses of essential oil and fragrance oil. So the essential oil, you use that for the therapeutic properties. And if you want to add a natural smell or aroma to your formulas. So that is the function of essential oil. If you want to have an aroma at the same time, if you want to claim a certain benefit like relaxing, you use essential oils. But for fragrance oils, they're just mainly to provide fragrances to your products. They just make your fragrances smell good. And for me, they're more appealing. For example, you take a toner with tea tree oil and a toner with a regular fragrance oil. So people will tend to like more the toner with the fragrance oil because it smells better. Not everyone appreciates, the smell of some essential oils, particularly like tea tree. So you can see the difference. If you're just after the aroma, go for fragrance oil. But if you want a therapeutic benefit at the same time an aroma, go for essential oil. And also, fragrance oils, they're more cost efficient than essential oils because some essential oils, they're expensive, like sandalwood. Now, essential oil in aromatherapy and perfumery. So I'm going to focus on LME. This is our pride because it comes from the Philippines. So LME in aromatherapy. It can be analgesic or for pain relieving properties, expectorant for if you have like cough, if you want to have a therapy for that, antiseptic for like skin problems, eczema, etc., antiviral, and also calming properties. LME in perfumery, we're after just the what LME can do in a fragrance. So LME belongs to the balsamic group. It's mainly a middle note. So it's relatively long lasting. And then the oil, the essential oil, it has an aroma of zesty, lemony, spicy, pine-like, fresh, and terpene. And LME blends well with aromatics like lavender, spicy notes like nutmeg, citrus, bergamot or lemon, rose, and geranium. And it can be used in sheath fragrances, fougere, and oriental. And some examples of LME in fragrances are Maison Francis Corjon Oud Satin Oud and Terre d'Hermes. So these two fragrances, they use LME. Now, essential oil blend as a fragrance. If you're going to ask me if I can use my essential oil blend as a fragrance, yes, you can definitely do that. But you have to have two things. You must consider two things. One, it has to have the three main blocks of the fragrance. And two, it should be conforming to IFRA. So I'm going to discuss each of them. Now, essential oil blend as a fragrance, like what I said, it should have the three main blocks so that your blend will last long. It will have a more appealing scent. So for top notes, you can use citrus, you can use mint, neroli, petitgrain, and some spices. And then middle note, aromatics, florals for like rose or jasmine, some heavy spices like cinnamon, and balsams like elemi, myrrh, olibanum. And then for the base notes, you can use woods like sandalwood, cedar, gayak, patchouli, vetiver, some absolutes like mimosa or osmanthus, and resins like labdanum resinoid. So you can do that blend to make your fragrance or your natural essential oil blend more appealing and long-lasting. Next is the IFRA conformity. So what is the IFRA conformity? IFRA is the International Fragrance Association. It's mainly the regulating body when it comes to fragrances and essential oils for cosmetic applications. Unlike in aromatherapy where we do it we depend the drops of the essential oil depending on the level of risk these oils have. Whereas in fragrances, we do it by the IFRA. So, and the IFRA, it has 12 categories. And if you're concerned for example, the fragrance, So category 4, it's products related to fine fragrance. And if you can see here, an example, restriction of tajet in a fragrance, fine fragrance, is 0.01. So that means that in your final formula, your tajet, if you're gonna use it as just as a solo ingredient, it has to be 0.01 in the final formula. Or if you're gonna blend it with your essential oils, it also has to be 0.01, because if you go further than that, there's a chance that your blend will have a low percentage use. So if, for example, your essential oil blend is 5% in fragrances, that means that you can only do up to EDT or eau de toilette. You can't go beyond that, because if you go for eau de parfum, it's 15 to 20%, and that's not according to the standards of IFRA. And the IFRA, this is usually amended yearly. So right now we're in the 49th amendment, and probably next year we will know the 50th, and there will possibly be new restrictions and new guidelines for this. And there's a software to calculate the conformity of each essential oil or fragrance. And then helpful tips, just so that you know how to distinguish an essential oil from a fragrance oil, or when you buy your oils. So these are some tips. Smell and familiarize yourself. So yan parate, importante yan. You have to know the smell of your essential oils, be familiar, and like this, you will know if that essential oil is pure or not, if it's just a blend, or if it's a fragrance oil. So you have to constantly train your nose. Next is be keen on details. So read the labels. Normally, when you buy your oils, it's stated there if it's an essential oil, if it's pure essential oil, or if it's a fragrance oil. So be particular with the labels. And then know the needed documents. If you're going to buy oils, like for example in our company, we can provide you documents like the material safety data sheet. So here you will see the how to apply the product and the storage conditions. And also, if it's essential oil, you will see there that the botanical name of that oil. If it's a fragrance oil, they'll just say it's an odoriferous blend of aromatic compounds. So from there, you will know that what I have is a fragrance oil, not an essential oil. And then for natural certifications, it's needed when you're after or you're concerned for the if your product or your oil is really natural. So you can ask these documents as well. And then finally, do your research. Know your supplier, your source, if they are reputable, if they are sustainable, so that you know that the products that you buy from them are of quality. And that's about it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, RJ, for your presentation. Ito, are you ready for the Q&A? May question na sila actually.
Yes, okay, go on.
So first question, this is from Jen, and she's asking, are the dermal limits also followed in perfumery since the product touches the skin?
Yes. So that's why in IFRA, it's stated there how much of the fragrances are allowed to be applied on the skin.
Follow up naman. This is my question. So follow up with that. Do you notice any difference sa derma limit? Like mas strict ba yung IFRA or parang mas lenient ba sa limits ng aromatherapy or are they the same? Is it standardized?
Sa IFRA, I think mas mas strict. Like pag sinabi nila na, for example, bergamot 5% lang, hanggang dun lang yung limit niya. So you cannot go beyond that. And talagang iniisa-isa nila yung mga components or the constituents of the oil. Like sa bergamot, may ano yan, may furucomarine. So ito yung dosage niyan. So doon masasabi nila na doon nila na-determine na okay, hanggang dito lang yung usage ng product ng oil sa product mo. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, so kasi I was also expecting na mas strict sa IFRA kasi I know mas strict yung European standards. So I was thinking na most probably mas strict na dun. Thank you so much, RJ. Any other questions? I'm messaging Lou. Nandiyan ba si Lou? Kasi I know marami siyang questions. Ayan.
Oo, yan. Sorry, medyo mauubos na yung battery ko, pero game. So hindi, kasi di ba tong IFRA, napakadami niyang mga amendment, documentation.
Yes.
I mean, and you are traversing, kumbaga, two worlds now as an aromatherapist and perfumer, di ba? So,
Yes.
how do you, kumbaga, paano ka naninimbang na parang, syempre ang higpit sa IFRA, pero sa aromatherapy, pwede kang depende sa yung dilution rate, depende sa need ng client. So, I mean, how do you do it? Anong approach mo?
Ako, since nagsimula ako as a perfumer, then aromatherapist, more ako sa IFRA standards. So kapag yung blend ko, sinabi lang na hanggang dito lang siya, hanggang doon lang yung gagawin ko because may studies kasi talaga formally yung may studies kasi talaga yung mga ginagawa ng IFRA. So I'm sure safe yung product ko kapag sinunod ko siya.
And then, ito kasi itong IFRA, di ba, minsan sa isang ordinary person na nagsisimula pa lang ng journey nila, medyo nakaka-overwhelm tong pag tinitingnan ko yung website ng IFRA, di ba, naloka ako. So, parang sabi ko, saan ko ba, hindi siya mukhang user-friendly ba sa unang tingin compared sa siguro mas mas friendly na ngayon yung mga aromatherapy schools and resources. So parang meron bang IFRA site na parang mas madaling intindihin na parang halimbawa gusto mo malaman you're a starting perfumer na parang ito lang siya yung pwede kasi pag nag-download ka ng amendment parang 'di ba limpak-limpak na PDF yung makukuha mo, hindi mo alam kung saan ka magsisimula.
Yes. Unfortunately, walang ibang site ang IFRA kundi yun lang. So lahat ng mga regulations, dun lang talaga.
Halimbawa may tanong ka, 'di ba? May gusto kang i-clarify. Meron bang resource sa IFRA na pwede ka ba naming tanungin or parang meron bang parang simple Q&A dito or may IFRA police ba na parang naglabas ka ng product tapos hindi siya nagko-conform? Parang, how does IFRA monitor that?
Here, kapag nina-register mo yung product mo sa FDA, IFRA is one of the requested documents. Lalo na kapag fragrances ang dineclare mo, they will ask for the IFRA. So, doon talaga na-check nila. Pero yung kapag sa mga I think if you're just gonna do it for personal use and for your family, I think we'll just go for the aromatherapy way. Kasi if it's for just personal use.
O kasi parang yun nga syempre pag business ka, 'di ba? Yung goal mo talaga is to meet as the most stringent standards para at least yung quality ng products mo would be, parang assured.
Yes.
So, kasi na-expose ka dun sa kumbaga yung sa GIP studies mo and then you come back to the Philippines. What can you say about how the consumers sa Philippines have evolved or yung taste nila pagdating sa appreciation ng fragrance? Kasi ngayon, di ba, pumasok ang lakas ng essential oils ngayon and Filipinos have always loved, I think, strong scents. Where do you see this going?
I see it going to the next level actually. Kasi habang tumatagal, mas nagiging sophisticated na yung taste ng mga consumers when it comes to fragrances. Though there's still yung mga, we're always going to be forever freshies, yung mga fresh fragrances. But at the same time, dumarating na yung appreciation natin for more sophisticated fragrances. Kasi dumadami na rin yung mga binebenta dito. Like may sa Jo Malone or for example, yung mga niche fragrances na nabibenta sa Art of Scent. So, na-expose ka na sa mga ganon. So, I think mag-i-evolve talaga yung taste natin when it comes to fragrances. And then kapag sa essential oils naman, di ba, sobrang popular na ng oiling ngayon dito sa Philippines. So, nade-develop din yung pag-amoy ng Pilipino.
That's parang exciting yan para sa ating sa akin and I think sa mga classmates natin na parang using essential oils for different purposes including fragrance. So, curious ako kasi sa mga 'di ba sa interior design merong color of the year, 'di ba? Sa IFRA ba meron bang or sa perfumery world ba yung para bang 2022 like the fragrance to watch out for or trends? May trends ba ngayon?
Yeah, may mga trends. Usually from what I know, wala pa kasi akong nababasa mga latest na trends na pero naglalabas naman sila yearly. Like few years back, ang trend ngayon more to yung clean fragrances, mga ganun. So using yung mga ethically sourced ingredients, yung properly usage ng mga raw materials, yun yung clean fragrance.
So parang ito ba ina-announce ba tong mga trends na to in like an industry journal or kasi yung mga Pantone color makikita mo lumalabas sa feed mo, 'di ba? The color next year is ganyan. Para yun yung susundan ng mga creators in a way. May something similar ba sa world of perfumery?
Yes, there is. May mga journals din kami like yung Perfumer and Flavorist magazine. So yearly may mga trends yan na binibigay.
And then siguro dahil isa ka sa mga dito na parang isa ka sa mga perfumer nga dito sa Philippines. I mean, anong nakita mong challenges ngayon sa industry bilang sa mga madaming up and coming na naglalabas ng mga Filipinos na ito line of perfume nila? Ano yung napapansin mo na kumbaga challenges ng mga katulad mo na in this industry?
Challenges, I think yung acceptance, parang hindi pa kasi ganun ka aware ang mga Pinoy na there's such a thing as a perfumer na gumagawa ka ng fragrance from scratch. Kasi normally kapag nagbebenta ka ng pabango, inisip nila, ano lang yan, inspired of this fragrance lang yan, ganun. But that's not the case. May perfumers na gumagawa talaga ng fragrances from scratch. So yun yung medyo challenge na you have to continuously introduce yourself or educate them kung ano ginagawa mo, kung anong yung creation mo, paano siya iba from kung ano yung nakasanayan.
And I mean, you're highly educated in terms of, di ba, you got this degree from GIP, and then but you still even with your education, you still face this challenge, no? So parang yung napapansin mo bang dumadami yung avenues to educate the audience about yung what perfumer like you brings to the table, kasi sanay yung mga tao na bumibili lang sila, 'di ba? And parang 'di ba parang as a creative person, yung maniningil ka for your services na parang nakaya ba ngayon at this time ng mga tao na perfumer na maningil to the level of parang I deserve 10,000 pesos for this because I studied this, pero versus parang Chanel to, so it deserves 10,000 pesos. How do you tell people na
Actually, on that part, medyo yun yung medyo mahirap kasi Filipinos, in general, we tend to have like parang kapag sa Chanel, willing ka mag-spend ng ganitong amount. Pero kapag gawa ng Pinoy, you cannot go beyond what is the standard pricing of for them. So yun yung medyo mahirap. But may mga ano naman may mga groups naman, may mga fragrance groups naman dyan na aware sila na a certain fragrance, may quality kasi yan, may mga ginagamit ingredients, there's art behind it. So naiintindihan naman nila yung price mo. But nandun pa rin sa level na they're not willing to embrace na, Filipino fragrances can be at par with international brands.
No, parang challenge talaga yun.
In terms of pricing.
Ito, different question. Kasi nakikita ko minsan nagbebenta yung mga nature identical oils. Parang nakikita ko yung blend siya, kumbaga hindi siya synthetic, pero hindi rin siya yung pure na bawa it's made dahil mahal ang rosewood. Parang gagawa sila ng similar na to make it smell like rosewood. Parang yung mga ganun ba na nature identical, acceptable din ba yun sa parang do you use nature identical? Is it like a one level lower or
yes,
mas maganda ba yun?
Yes, we do that. We use that kasi may mga ingredients talaga na medyo mahirap nang makuha ngayon. Like for example, rosewood, katakot-takot na mga regulations, and then yung supply niya, it's not that readily available. So may mga may mga like accords or bases na rosewood na pwede namin gamitin sa perfumery.
And then last ko na to for this round, sorry, at mauubos na kasi yung battery ko, kaya sasabihin ko na lahat ngayon. Yung may mga I was just looking kanina at yung mga parang exotic fragrances na very expensive, like for example agarwood ganyan, or yung oud,
Yes.
diba? So parang is it worth it? Kasi parang ako napapaisip ako na like if I have money, parang para bang does it make sense to buy these expensive things o kahit na merong agarwood sa Pilipinas, I'm not sure may source ba ngayon nag-develop na ngayon ng oud. Pangalawa, once you get it, parang okay, hindi ko alam kung a market ba dito, parang do they even like it, diba? Kasi this is something na more sikat siguro in the Middle Eastern countries. So, what's your tip for those who have so eyeing specific fragrances na mahal? Parang you listed a while ago kanina na parang research, look for reputable suppliers. Parang siguro guidance mo na para wag bili or something, or anong masasabi mo dun?
I think you should may mga kasi ngayon there's such a thing as yung mga samplers. Mga bias, mga samplers. So before you buy an expensive fragrance, you get samples first. You buy the samples first. So like this, ma-gauge mo kung gusto mo ba talaga yung pabango or hindi. So kung gusto mo talaga siya, then wala ka nakikita ibang katulad niya, then you go for the fragrance. And then in terms of the agarwood, actually, meron nang mag-start ng production ng agarwood oil dito sa Pilipinas.
Wow.
Yes, magkakaroon na.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm glad kasi before that parang gray market lang siya, and it's illegal actually to buy.
True.
So you have to import it, and then you have to secure site's certificate.
Yeah. Oo. Yun. So, thank you. Ang dami kong natutunan. Sige, over to you, Jirbie.
Oh, thank you. No, okay nga. At least may nagtatanong. Thank you so much, Lou, for all your questions. Talagang na-enlighten kami. And of course, kay RJ for answering all of those questions very well. Meron pa ba kayong mga tanong, girls? Or everyone who is on Zoom? Naka-stream din tayo sa Facebook, pero wala rin nagtatanong sa Facebook. I've been monitoring. Anybody else who has a question for RJ? Ako may question. Ay, sige.
Sige. Last na lang kasi, what's your kumbaga, favorite as of the moment as a perfumer? Parang, syempre, minsan meron kang preferred as of now. But what are you in love with as of now as a raw material siguro?
Raw material, ang dami. Enemy is one of them. I love beeswax, absolute. I love, ano pa ba? Yung mga immortal, yung ganun. So more of the, ang mga gusto ko yung mga balsamic, mga resins, mga ganun.
Sige. Something to discover pa for me. Hindi ko pa alam yung mga beeswax absolute. Sige, salamat!
Yes.
Ayan, RJ, ito naman. I was just wondering, for those who are like aromatherapists who would want to delve into natural perfumery, I know they have to complete like yung tatlong categories, base, middle, and heart note. Paano nila mapapatagal? What are the ways that they can do to prolong the scent? Like, is there any other, what kind of additives that they can use para mas ma-anchor down, or any fixative that they can use para ma-anchor down your perfume to make it last longer?
Marami kasing factors yan. Sometimes, halimbawa, kung what they do is they usually use an unscented base and then they put the perfume, mix it with the unscented base. Mas tatagal daw yung fragrance pag ganun. I haven't personally tried that kasi naniniwala kasi ako that the longevity of the fragrance depends on the person talaga, on the skin, on the chemistry of the person, the skin chemistry.
I see. Kasi like ako, in my experience, adding a more viscous oil, like let's say patchouli or sandalwood, sometimes it's not that effective
Yes.
as an anchor. So parang what else can they do? Not considered as clean, because I know clean beauty and clean products, clean ingredients are very big right now. So what's an additive that is considered clean? Is it isopropyl mesylate or?
No, I don't think that's clean.
Diba?
I think para lang mas ma-prolong yung fragrance mo, you can use natural musk like yung ambret seed, absolute. Yeah, that's coming from gumamela. So yun, para lang magkaroon ng mas long-lasting yung fragrance. Kasi pag mga additives, usually, synthetic talaga.
Great. Tapos question then, have you ever tried using ambergris?
Yes.
Oh wow, where did you buy it though? And it's so expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. And I buy it from France.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And then for everyone's interest, I know that you mentioned to me na you also sell some of these ingredients. Mamaya i-share mo rin sa audience natin, because I know some of them might be interested also to get some of those very interesting ingredients para if they plan to concoct on their own, or if you have classes, maybe you can teach. Diba? Like in the future. In the future, maybe you can hold classes then para yung mga interested to delve into natural perfumery. I know si Lucas is also taking from Atelier. Mandy Atelier.
Yes.
Mandy, yeah, from her. So yun. So I think that would be cool. Like si Jen is very much into DIY and formulating on her own. And a lot of these girls on our Zoom right now are actually studying their certification. So I know they're very much interested as well to conduct their own. Anybody else who has a question? I'm really low. Yan, meron na. Where on Facebook is this streamed? Okay, it's on our Alliance of the Philippine Aromatherapists Facebook group. It's a private group, pero we accept naman almost everyone. Basta wag lang kayo magulo. if you're a normal functioning person, we accept naman. So just add, and then we will be. We have a lot of classes, twice a month usually, and we hold a lot of things, free education events there. Anybody else who has a question? Ira, Emeline? Si Ems nagising na maaga para sa'yo, RJ. Ano yan eh?
Oh, thank you.
Nocturnal yan eh. Ayan. Who else? Wala na ba?
Hello, good morning.
Ayan.
Hello,
Lila?
good morning. I have a question po. Yes po. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm a chemist po, and I'm trying to extract natural aromas from plants and from flowers. what do you suggest that I could start with po? And
Like,
what do you
like
think I could do to extract more efficiently? Because currently I'm using certain dilutions, certain concentrations of alcohol in water, and I'm trying to extract from different types of flowers and leaves. So right now I have some little bottles here with me that are extracted from different plants, but I'm not really sure if it is efficient enough, if extracted efficiently enough that I could turn it into a perfume. Do you have any suggestions on this, po? Thank you.
um, I think when it comes to mga ganyan, I'm not the right person to ask because unfortunately I'm not a chemist, so I don't know how to
Okay.
do the real
Oh,
extraction.
okay, okay.
Pero may mga certain ano naman like CO2
Okay.
extraction, mga ganun. You can perhaps try that.
Okay po.
And thank you so much, Lila. Another question
Oh,
from
thank you,
M.
thank you.
Shy si M sabihin, but she sent it privately. Do you create custom fragrances and do you intake din ba? Like what we do in aromatherapy. How do you go about it?
Do I what? Do I
Intake or ingest ba ito, Ems? You mean by intake as in ingest? Do you intake or ingest din ba? Like what we do in aromatherapy? Tapos do you create custom fragrances ba raw?
Yes, I do create custom fragrances.
Tapos do you intake or ingest din ba? Like what we do in aromatherapy. I'm not so sure if it's covered in level 1 with Jade, yung ingestion. Meron ba ngayon sa inyo?
Parang wala ata.
Okay. So yeah, for EMS, I think hindi. Kasi I remember with my course with Jade, yun nga, RJ and I were talking about it. Perhaps there are slight differences with the school as compared before when it was with Jade and Amy together. I remember with my level 1, pahapyaw lang, parang na-mention lang yung ingestion, but there's nothing so much into it. Kasi I know, as far as I know, si Jade yung mas into ingestion, being someone who was trained in Europe for it. But then again, I also took my French aromatherapy course, specifically French aromatherapy, as my level 2, dapat at that time. So I knew more about ingestion. But I don't think it's really covered with level 1. So, yun. Oh, okay. So sabi ni M, intake as in interview ng sangkaterba. Di ba we have to intake form? Ano yung sabihin doon?
I
Do you
like
intake din ba?
to answer questions para dun sa fragrances to like
Do you intake as in interview ng sangkaterba? We have to intake form.
Baka
Mhm.
consultation.
Oh, baka
Which means consultation.
yeah, I can ano naman. I do that. Syempre to create the fragrance, I need to know what scents you like, what you dislike, and kung ano yung gusto mong mangyari when it comes to your custom fragrance. So yes, I do have that.
Okay, wait. Gets ko na yung question niya. So, gusto niyang sabihin, kasi with aromatherapist, we always say na the oil can work differently for people, right? So, parang there's no cookie cutter method. For example, migraine for me, lavender okay na, but for person B, baka hindi, baka peppermint. So, you have to interview yung people before you provide a blend or a custom fragrance. Do you do the same daw for a person?
Yes, that's why I always ask kung ano yung mga preferred nilang scent because perfumery is very subjective. So what I like may not be what other person liked. So I need to know those details.
More than the preference, RJ, is there also a factor na kasi baka iba yung reaction niya sa skin, like yung
Yes.
body chemistry?
Yes. Kung acidic siya, probably mas more on ano siya sa mga mas probably light or heavy fragrance, mga ganon.
Wow, that's very interesting and complex, no? Parang, was it really hard? I mean, was it harder for you because nag-pandemic, so hindi mo nami-meet yung clients mo in person? Or carry lang kahit parang virtual yung consultations?
Kaya naman kahit virtual.
Oh, I see. I was thinking na parang baka dapat try nila sa skin, tapos see how it reacts kasi there's this body chemistry thing. Wala naman.
I send them a sample and then from there they will tell me what what they think of the fragrance.
Wow, para-paraan talaga. Amazing! That's very amazing. All right. So anybody else has a question? This has been a very, very meaty and very interesting discussion. People are already sending their comments. They really enjoy your session, RJ. Congratulations and
Oh,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
I tried my best.
um,
It's my first time.
Oo nga, first time ni RJ mag-ganito-ganito. So, masaya tayo na may gano'n. Ayan, if wala na, perhaps you can invite them, RJ, to your website or anything that you can invite our audience with.
If you're looking for essential oils or fragrance oils, you can visit our company. I can type its message. Kasi I'm sorry, hindi ako nag-prepare ng mga marketing for the company because that was not my goal actually. So yeah, they can visit this website.
Oh, wow. Okay, I know Eunice.
Yes.
Ayan. So, that's your company, your family's business.
Yes.
Oh, kaya pala you're also into perfumery kasi you're very, very well versed na with all of these chemicals na.
Yes.
Amazing! Okay. So, check out Eunice Inc. I think sa may ano kayo, no? Northern QC ba? Tama ba?
Commonwealth.
Oh, yeah. So, I remember parang Northern QC. So, Commonwealth area. Tapos, they do delivery, I know.
Yes.
Parang tatawagan mo lang swapa deliver nila. Yan. So, you can check out Eunice Inc. Sobrang dami nilang mga... But I think it's by bulk, no? Or meron na ba kayong parang smaller quantity?
For essential oils, I decided now we can sell in small bottles.
Yay! Ayan.
Para
So,
mas
if you have...
convenient for
Correct. Ayan. So, any ingredient, Jen, actually, parang kahit for our formulations, shampoo bar and everything, they have it there. So, you can check them out. What else? So, yon, check out Eunice. If you have any other questions about aromatherapy or perfumery, you can message RJ. He is also part of our group. And we hope this is not going to be the last, RJ. I hope someday, if meron ko pang topic na gustong pag-usapan, the stage is open for you.
Sure. I'll think of another topic na ano.
Ayan. Maraming salamat. At baka pwede ka rin mag-speak sa AIA. I can also work that out for you kung gusto mo.
Why not?
Next quarter. Ayusin natin yan. Inaayos ko na yung plano para sa AIA. So, ayan. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Kay RJ, maraming salamat for accepting my invitation to have this webinar. And this is streamed on our Facebook group. If you have friends who would want to learn about today's topic, just invite them in. And I hope to see you on our summit this December. Bye! Happy Sunday! Bye-bye!